So Barca 3, Mallorca 0. Let's talk about it. Um I don't know what to really say other than job well done. That first half was a bit weird. I only really got to watch probably like 35, maybe 40 minutes into it. So didn't watch the entire game, but I did want to go ahead and talk about it. I did go ahead and watch the highlights just to see the very beginning of it. I kind of basically joined at the right time after they scored the first goal. And just looking over the highlights and everything, it seems John Verjali, that guy. I'm sad that we had to get rid of him. Those first 20 minutes, very very good performance. Barca do have a buyback clause, I believe, for him, but they also have a sell-on clause and everything. So it might make more sense to have him go to another club, if anything. I know some La Liga and Premier League clubs are interested in him. So those first 20 minutes, man, it was concerning looking back at it. The Morici chance that John Virgili as well created. I mean, to be able to play that 1-2, really straightforward attack. Coming from Mallorca's goalkeeper, Lee Roman, whatever Roman, man. Finally, a normal performance from that guy. By the way, like last year, the year before that, against Madrid last season, I think against Madrid this season as well, did really, really, really well with him. So luckily, he didn't have a crazy game today. But first 20 minutes was a struggle. And I mean, to add to, I think this is more because Jan Vergili, or Van, excuse me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, Jan Verdali, um, he's great. He is great. But I think a lot has to be said about Koundé defensively. I really don't know. I still have somewhat weird faith in him. I have no reason why Flick. There would in my head there'd be no reason why Flick would continue to play him at right back. I know the center back position's a bit weird, so Eric can't always just play right back. But even when we have issues in the midfield and stuff like that, well, maybe a little bit before around the time that we lost Bedri last time, Eric was playing a lot of games in the midfield. And maybe now, so with the options and Bernal getting a little bit back into his feet, he may just want to keep Eric in the defensive positions. I just don't know why he's so keen on playing Kunde for so long as well. I think there could be situations where he plays Eric at the right, in for Kunde, starting the game at least with Eric to see if that does anything to the team, and more importantly to that right hand side, because offensively, Kunde at times cannot really offer as much as he should be to Lamine, and then defensively, he can have what he had those first 20 to 30 minutes. That, if we're being honest, the whole entire first half. Um, from that first half, however, the one thing I'll notice is without De Jong, without Bedri, the build-up is just not good enough. Overall, in the first half, it was much slower. The ball wasn't getting moved around quickly enough to build up a good enough attack in the first half, which was why bearing the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes where Mallorca did so well, it's kind of weird that Barca even got up in front in the first place. I mean, the chance before that was Rashford having a shot from outside the box. Then then just a random just a random shot again from Rashford that bounced off a defender. And though Lewandowski was initially offside, from the moment that it hits Danny Olmo's foot and goes to Lewandowski, he is onside. So that is a valid goal. Um, though not a very weird goal, a very weird goal to say the least. Um, so I think just overall in that first half, I'm looking at my notes here. I think the reaction and composure for Lewandowski, great to score the first goal. Um, in that first half, pretty lucky to be leading in the first place. Not that they created a lot of much after that run of play that they did so well in the beginning. But if we're being very honest, that Murici chance in front of goal, I mean, if he got to that a bit quicker or he stuck out his foot a bit better, he might have scored. So that's always of concern. Barca still defensively are still really shaky, and against a good wingers, it's tough. It's really really tough, especially if the opposition's able to find their wingers pretty effectively, pretty consistently. It becomes very difficult. Um, but really, in that first half, like I said, it was really not a good pace. It was really slow. Flick even mentioned it afterwards. It was really really slow. Um, and the very last thing was at the end of the half. I mean, I don't know how Lamine misses that chance off of Rashford's amazing free kick, by the way, where despite me saying Lenormand didn't have like the greatest game ever, saved that free kick, which was crazy. Kunde, I don't know if he even meant to do that. He might have mishit it, if I'm being very honest. But Lamine have to score those, have to score those. But he doesn't score easy goals. He wants to score what he did. And going into the second half, it was much better, more intensity, more pace, much much better. Uh, Lamine looked like a completely different player in the second half. Completely took over the game. Uh, Rashford doing Rashford things still. Uh, and overall, the build up was much better. Funnily enough, with the same team, I thought going into it, I thought Flick might have made some changes and subbed someone else in the midfield, Bernal, someone else, even Tommy. But in the second half, probably not. I was thinking like a Bernal type of introduction into the game, but that was much later. I think after the second goal, if I remember right. But wow, what a goal by Lamine! I mean, the guys in ESPN also said I don't know why why they even let him go to his left foot in that sort of area. Lenormand, to be honest, didn't really do a good job there, but it was a terrific finish regardless. Um, but yeah, going over into the game, the one thing I kind of did notice um, happened a few times with like Casado. It happened one time with like Balde and stuff like that, and a few others. Not crazy because maybe I think we conceded maybe like one chance from this. But especially when we have no Bedri and we have no De Jong, these guys tend to like misplace passes. I think when they have a Bedri and a De Jong, they're much better positioned to receive the ball. One opportunity I saw Balde give it to Bernal, where Bernal was like right next to two people right behind him, and immediately lost the ball because I don't think it's realistic for anyone other than probably De Jong and Bedri, because those are probably two two of the world's best midfielders to get into situations like that and be able to retain the ball still. A lot of times you've even heard like other players just talk about how these two guys, it's just give them the ball and they'll find a way out somehow. And it may cause an over reliance in terms of build up and progression. Um, so it's definitely noticeable. But with that being said, even though I did mention Bernal in that case, not being able to do the things Pedri and De Jong do, it doesn't mean he's not valuable, and it doesn't mean he can improve in those situations. I think personally, it was just probably also a very bad pass by Balde. Um, but just a few times where I saw them losing the ball away too easily, and conceding easy chances. I think the one real big chance that they had in the second half came from a misplaced pass and build up that they were able to get recover the ball, Mallorca, and go and through on goal pretty much. Just Eric and Kubarsi defended that pretty well to close down the space and make it harder for him to take a shot. Uh, but with Bernal, amazing. What a goal, man. What a freaking goal. And I like these last few games have been super interesting because it gets me really excited for the end of the season. Whether Barca go very far or not, just the football that Barca are going to play makes me excited to watch them because when you have Pedri, when you have De Jong, when you have Gavi, when you have Bernal, I mean, the worst of the bunch is probably Casado, and getting him some minutes, and Tommy too, who got some minutes today finally. Oh my goodness, so happy for him. Nothing to run home about. He wasn't like this crazy generational talent or nothing as of yet, but good on the ball. At one point he kind of slipped and messed up a little bit and conceded a chance. But first game from the guy, from the kid. So I can't complain about it. But Bernal, man, some lax passes and lacks of concentration here and there that I thought I was a bit disappointed by, but I think I've gotten a bit used to that over the process of him progressing and kind of improving and gaining that confidence. And um, at the end of the day, Flick has also mentioned it's a bit of a fitness thing that he hasn't played as much as he has, but resting as much as he did, I think guarantees that it's probably gonna be him and De Jong for the Atletico game during in midweek for the Copa del Rey game. And the last thing I really have here, because I'm a bit confused about how we're gonna go moving forward with this guy, is Cancelo. I mean, I would have thought with Cancelo coming in, probably one of Koundé, maybe even Eric, or Balde would come off, but he subbed off. I think it was Lewandowski and Olmo at the end to bring in Tommy and to bring in Cancelo. And so Cancelo played left wing, and I'm like, well, he's great at going forward. I mean, yes, but it really is interesting where he's gonna fit for the rest of the season. I I I feel like he maybe doesn't rate him as much as we think. I feel like he's really going to, and I'm happy about this because I struggle to find the real value in Cancelo going long term, even within the 6 months that he's here. But I don't know what where Flick does and plays him and everything. So overall, I was impressed with the second half. I thought Rashford did well. I thought Lamine in the second half particular did very well. I thought Eric did great. Eric again, by the way, I'm not letting that go under the radar. Eric Garcia with another, in my opinion, 8 out of 10. Just 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10s the entire season. Probably the Chelsea game has been the game that I've been mostly disappointed with him. But when you're physically up with those monsters in the midfield, with Casedo and Reece James and all those guys, it is difficult. It is difficult. I think he would have been more equipped to play fullback or center back in that game than he would ever be in the middle of the pitch. So regardless, though, overall great second half, not so great first half. Next game's Atletico, which I definitely am not looking forward to, not even a little bit. So, thank you guys, and see you later.